Is morality really relative to the situation or time? Join me as I dive deep into the debate of whether morality is truly relative to the situation or time. I'm going to challenge my own beliefs and see where I land. Morality is one of those topics that's always been on our radar. But have you ever stopped to think about what it really means? It's a concept that's deeply ingrained in our societies, influencing our decisions and actions every day. But here's the thing. Is morality absolute, or does it change depending on the situation or the time we're living in? This question is more relevant today than ever, as we're constantly faced with complex issues that challenge our moral compass. The debate around moral relativism versus moral absolutism has been raging for centuries. On one hand, moral relativists argue that morality is relative to the cultural, historical, or personal context. They believe that what's right or wrong depends on the situation, and that there are no universal moral truths. On the other hand, moral absolutists claim that morality is objective and unchanging, that certain actions are inherently right or wrong regardless of the context. But what if morality isn't just black and white? What if it's a complex interplay of factors that influence our judgments? One of the key arguments against moral relativism is that it can lead to moral nihilism, where anything goes and there's no basis for making moral judgments. But moral absolutism can be problematic too, as it often fails to account for the nuances and complexities of real-world situations. Think about it. If morality is absolute, how do we explain the fact that different cultures have different moral norms? Doesn't that suggest that morality is, to some extent, relative? The tension between moral relativism and absolutism is at the heart of many contemporary debates. Take issues like climate change. For example, is it morally justifiable to prioritize economic growth over environmental protection? Or should we be willing to make significant sacrifices to mitigate the impact of climate change? These are tough questions, and there's no easy answer. Throughout history, we've seen countless examples of how morality can shift depending on the cultural and situational context. Take the practice of slavery, for instance. At one point, it was widely accepted as a legitimate institution. Today, it's universally condemned. What changed? Our understanding of human rights and dignity, of course. But what about more recent examples, like the changing attitudes towards LGBTQ+ rights? What does that say about the nature of morality? In Japan, for example, there's a fascinating cultural phenomenon known as hone and tatemi, where individuals have both a public and private self. This highlights how people can navigate complex moral landscapes in different ways. Similarly, in some African cultures, communal values take precedence over individual rights, leading to different moral priorities. The story of a man named Abd al-Rahman al-Rashid, a Syrian refugee who was forced to flee his home country, raises important questions about morality in the face of extreme circumstances. He was struggling to survive and ended up making some tough choices to protect himself and his family. His story is a powerful illustration of how morality can be tested in extreme situations. As we reflect on these examples, it becomes clear that morality is not simply a matter of right or wrong. It's a complex interplay of factors that influence our judgments. Our cultural background, personal experiences, and situational context all play a role in shaping our moral compass.